Job application and resume writing. Job application is our first step towards career planning or career application. Hence, it is something which we need to think clearly and then write, because it is an offer of our service to a company. It is made up of two parts. One is the application letter and the second is the resume. We will see how both these have to be written in order to get a good job application done. Important points with regards to job applications. Good quality paper should be used. Nowadays, it's also written through an email. Hence, with the IT world, and the IT Connect more and more happening within companies, resumes and applications can also be sent through mails. Return address is properly positioned. It can be on the top right hand corner or in the center, but it should be clear so that they can write back to us. The salutation is to be made formally. Dear sir or dear madam, whatever it might be, or dear Mr. So and so. Subject and attention lines are used if appropriate. If something needs to be highlighted for the post off and you want to be specific about the post, then subject line can be used. Complimentary close is included. Thanking you, yours truly. Enclosure note is used to acknowledge the attachments like resume and any other enclosure. So enclosed you can write and say these are the things which are enclosed. The mention about the resume is to be made in the body of the letter as well. So you have to say in the body of the letter that I am attaching my resume. Letterhead should not be used. It's not a company communication. It is a letter, application letter that we are writing to offer our services. Address is written in clear handwriting or typed so that it may reach the place without any problem. When it is being sent, please ensure that the address is written in bold, the pin codes are clear. Only when the pin code is written properly, the letter will reach. The job application covering letter should be written in own handwriting as far as possible, need not be typed. The letter is folded and packed properly along with all requisite documents like resume and in a proper size envelope. Each letter is written uniquely and personally to appropriate persons at the firm where one wishes to work. So every time we apply for a job, it should be a fresh job application written for that particular post, then it has more effect. The abbreviations, punctuations, comprehensions and action should be carefully planned and put to proper use, whatever we have learnt in effective communication. The tone, the vocabulary, the transition and coherence should be appropriate, because it is a formal letter, it is going to talk about you and your interest in applying for that post in that company. Techniques for writing successful job application. Be positive and confident, but not presumptuous or arrogant. Don't assume that job is for you. Assume that if you qualify, the job is yours and you have the qualification. But the lines we use should be courteous whenever we are writing a job application to a particular company. Talk of key credentials to fulfill job requirements. So highlight your so-called major credentials which will attract the company to call you for an interview. Show interest in working for the organization. Show knowledge about the company, a liner saying you're the best software company and I'm interested in working, I'll be the happiest to work for such a company. Show knowledge about the job requirements. Prove that one's capabilities and experience fulfill key requirements. The job application, once a person reads, the person should be interested in seeing the resume and then calling the person for an interview. Be straightforward but polite and respectful in seeking to attend the interview. So seek for an interview. After giving your credentials, some highlights about the company that since you're interested in working for that company, and so on. Techniques for writing successful job applications continued is compliment the organization's reputation but avoid unnecessary flattery, not required. Write correct qualification, other details exactly as is mentioned in the resume. Avoid any negative remarks about yourself, others and the company. In fact, negativity is completely should be avoided as far as any communication in this kind, either in interview or in a job application or in a resume. Use the letter opening to capture the attention and build interest of the reader. Prove through the letter that you have the strengths and capabilities to excel in the job. Point towards your key accomplishments. We already spoke about that. Use the letter ending to request for the interview and simulate action. Now comes the resume or the CV writing. The job application is accompanied by the resume. So what does the resume contain? Job application is requesting the company to ask or call them or ask them to call the person for an interview. But to give credential to that job application is the resume. The first thing to know about writing a CV is that it should be written specifically in terms of the job's requirements. If the job requires a Java programmer, then the CV should highlight the person's programming experience or how the person has done as far as Java is concerned, so that it catches the interest of the interviewer. The resume and application letter cannot be combined into a single document. Never. A resume presents information in a numbered sequence, and we'll see what all it contains. It uses tables to highlight details of education, qualification, work experience and so on. Now let's look at the categories of information in the CV. It will have personal details, name, address, date of birth, marital status, education, what has my schooling been, what has my college been, or any postgraduate, whatever it might be. Experience. So what are my various experiences? Even as fresher we can have experiences in projects. So what are my experiences as far as projects are concerned, and what are my experiences if I have worked? If I have worked, which company, as what, how many years, and what work did I do? References. References could be again from various sources. It could be personal references, which gives character references. It could be from the official references, which will give reference about the job that one has done. What should be the sequence of the CV? The CV will have a heading. It will have an objective saying this is what I want to become. Education, work experience, awards, achievement and honors, activities and skills, extracurricular if anything has been achieved, personal information and references. Some also put personal information at the beginning, that's okay, but this is a nice sequence to follow. The length of the CV. If it is a fresher's CV, it should not be over a page and a half, not more than that. If the person has worked for many years, in that case each of those experiences will take some space. Again, it could span a length of 3 to 4 pages and not more than that. Two very lengthy CVs, people may not have the patience to go through the whole thing, but it's better to give it as point wise instead of writing lengthy verbose CVs. The resumes of experienced people. One necessarily looks for what in experienced, let's say a CEO or a COO of companies. If resumes are taken from such people, in that case, major qualifications. They may not give their education and too much of the lengthy CVs that we spoke about. But there people would look for is major qualifications, major achievements, because they are the people who are going to be at the helm of the company. activities and memberships, because these matter a lot as far as the business is concerned. So these persons of long experiences use the strategy of beginning with a summary of qualification in place of a job objective, because they have reached probably their job objective and they are at that consolidation stage, and hence they would use this to attract the interviewer or the company which is looking for such senior level people.